So this is the self-development with tactics book.
This episode is gonna be about a bunch of memes. Probably. So I'm gonna see you after the intro. I assume. But yeah, with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast, and I'm pumped for this episode. Hopefully this is going to be a good episode. Hopefully it's also going to be a valuable one for you, and that you're enjoying it as well, because I'm enjoying it. But before we even go through the episode, I do just want to point out a few things. The first one is, if you're actually willing to listen to this, because it actually is a podcast, it is not like just, it's not really a YouTube show, but it is a podcast, so you can actually listen to it, and the first link is going to be down in the description, and it is going to lead you to a page where you can also choose to the platform you're willing to listen to the podcast on, which might be Spotify, which might be Stitcher, which might be Castbox, which might be Tuner, which might be fucking podcast1378 at gmail.com. Could be. I don't know what you're doing, but the second link is going to be for the notes. If you're willing to just have a summary of previous episodes, it's not going to be for this episodes, but if you're willing to have a summary of previous episodes, then please check that out. It is for free, it is a PDF, it is a summary, it is good, it is great. And the last one, which is also probably going to be the most important one for this episode, if you're willing to have some background music, especially if you're listening and or watching the YouTube video, then just please hit the third link and you're going to be on a site, on a Google Drives page again, where you can just choose the track and you're going to just be able to personalize that. And so you're able to personalize the whole experience of the whole video, which is amazing. And I like that. So yeah, let's actually go through the memes. I've actually looked them up before and I think they're quite good. The first one is this one. I know you probably know it, I assume. Can we all just take a second to appreciate the meme of the decade, which is F? Pay respect, F. To really be, what the fuck is that? To really kind of be honest, I'm not such a meme guy. I do enjoy them, but I'm not really like up to date. I'm not really like just, okay, I know this meme and I know the background and I know the creator and whatnot. It's not the case. But I find them funny and therefore I'm also going through them. So yeah, but can we all just take a second and appreciate our fucking lives? It would actually be amazing, because most often it is actually the case that these people, I often assume actually that especially those people that are seeing this video, which are probably based in Europe or Northern America and all these quote unquote, well actually not quote unquote, but literally rich areas, that they should all just be appreciating the life a little tiny bit more, because we're having an amazing fucking life, we're having everything. And then we're complaining about stupid shit like grades, which do not really matter, by the way. We're caring about just losing $100, even though that's like, of course, it's not gonna be great. I'm not saying that, but we're complaining about that, and other people are complaining about just starving. And yeah, they're actually complaining about starving. Well, I do not really think that they are gonna complain about that. Like, of course, they're not gonna be happy about that, but I don't think that complaining is the right word there. But the fact is that there's a bunch of people that are just probably starving right this fucking second as I'm recording it. And this is fucking insane, and still we in just really rich areas are complaining about dumb fucking bullshit. Why? It doesn't make too much sense, and we shouldn't really be doing this. We should really be grateful for whatever we're having, because we all are having quite a lot. We really have a lot. If it is like literally, if it is about water, if it is about electricity, like we're having everything. There's nothing that we are lacking in. We're basically having everything, and we're actually having so much that we're even giving a fuck about just psychological shit. Not in terms of depression. I'm not just gonna quote unquote joke about that. Like, I'm obviously also not gonna joke about fucking starving and whatnot. But the thing is, the more things that you're having that let you be able to actually exist in terms of, okay, you're having the water, you're having the food, you're having the safety, you're having the security, all those things. If you're having all those things, we're striving for something else. If we are just thinking about the Maslow need pyramid, and it is actually called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And as you can see there, and I've been talking about it before, but I think still it is something incredibly important, and therefore I'm willing to talk about it even more often. On the very bottom, there's psychological things, then there is safety, then love and belongings, then self-esteem, and self-actualization. The thing is, often it is the case that people in quite rich areas, they are just thinking about, love, and they're thinking about esteem, and they're also thinking about just really fulfilling themselves, and which just shows that we're having everything. That this is something that we care about, and this is something that we are not having. But to have that, we actually need the psychological health and the psychological safety. Then we need safety as such as well. We need food, we need love and all those things. Like, I don't know how accurate this is, since I guess, well, maybe you can have esteem, but you're not loved. In terms of like, there's no just you're not having a wife or a husband, like something like this, like a love relationship. But I think it is still going to be possible. The case is, and which is kind of the point of what I'm willing to say here, that we are really, really, really fortunate. We really are. And it is something that we should be reminding ourselves on a little bit more often, at least in my point of view. And I've just seen I've gained a new subscriber, and I really deeply appreciate that. I really do. So thanks. Even though this video is not going to be uploaded today, I appreciate that. I heavily, heavily, heavily appreciate that. I'm appreciating every single fucking person that is clicking on my fucking videos, because I'm putting some work in, and I really am happy if somebody is checking them out. So thanks. Also for you. If you're just at minute 6:47, it's not going to be 6:47 just because I'm cutting it, but thank you. Still thank you, and I appreciate that, and I hope that you're having a great day. And if you're not having a great day, I really hope that I somehow am able to just make your day a little bit better by doing the work that I'm doing. Because this is actually what I would like to be doing, because it feels great. But yeah, let's see the next one. The next one is this one. I actually kind of find that funny. What you're doing there, no one, spiders. I think it's great. It is great. I'm actually having quite some spiders in my room there, but they're not bothering me that well. Like, normally I'm like I'm not liking spiders in general. Like, I'm not a spider guy or something. But it's like they're there and they're living and they're just having their existence, and I'm myself and I'm doing whatever, and it is fine. I don't have to kill them. They're just there and I'm fine with it. The highest honor. Australian sheepdog credited with saving hundreds of animals from fire, which is amazing. From the NBC News. I didn't see these news. Actually, should be way more in news, I guess. I sometimes feel that way, especially also when in school, teachers and also, well, more or less it is most often teachers, when they are talking about some shit that is going on in Austria, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's not that I'm just then feeling like stupid or just whatever, but it's like, well, maybe it is important for me to know that shit, Maybe. Maybe being a little bit more in news is something that might be worth the time. Well, I could actually be doing that by just, if I'm just having some time left and I feel like a little bit stressed out or something, maybe I'm gonna do this in the next day or the next time. Maybe I'm gonna do that. Could be. Why not? Why not? Why not? I could be doing this when I choose to, if I want to. No, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I really am not, but it is what it is. Oh boy. When a weird kid reaches into your bag and the kid in the wheelchair gets up and starts running. Well, if I'm imagining it, it's probably kind of funny though, but I really hope, by the way, every kid that is in a fucking wheelchair, I hope that the kid is gonna be able to run just because of new technologies that are gonna emerge in the fucking future. I really am hoping for that. I really am. Even though like a lot of people are just able to deal with it, it's not gonna be something that's, especially if it is something that you have quote-unquote gained through an accident. If you're just in a wheelchair because of a fucking accident, it is not going to be, like, it's going to be worse, I think, than just being born and just then being in a wheelchair, because you're just having some disability and whatnot. Even though, like, not really, because sometimes it is also correlated to some other diseases and some other issues that you might be having. In the end, I really hope that you're not having anything. I hope that you're healthy and especially also happy, because mental health and physical health, I really hope that you're having it. I really, really, really deeply hope that. But yeah, let's see. I might be a weed smoker, but if I see a stray dog, I pick it up and I take it home. And there is a fucking cow in a fucking automobile. And I was wondering before, as I was seeing it, if this is actually just a really, really, really little cow, or if the car is actually really fucking big. But I assume it is actually the first one. I actually assume that it is the first one. So I don't really think that it is like a really, really big car. I think it is just a really tiny, or it is photoshopped. It could also be the case. It could definitely be the case. Even though it looks really real, therefore I'm not quite sure about that. I assume not. I think it is actually real. What do you mean, mistakenly? Well, I'm not gonna read that. What it was like for me. when your parents faces you, when your parents faces when you tell them you're moving out of the house, then assume there's the mother, which is like a rabbit or something, and then there's a fox who is the father, and he's smiling like shit. And the mother is like, what the fuck did you just say? I don't know what it's gonna be like for me, you know. Actually, my brother moved out just like a year ago or something, and like actually there's something pretty interesting to talk about, because I'm also looking forward to that, just because I then would be able to record whenever. Like, there's gonna be some benefits just attached to that. Like, of course, you know, there's gonna be some benefits, but on the other hand, it is also like, well, free food, the laundry. Having just more to care about in terms of like, okay, I actually have to take care of my whole fucking flat. On the other hand, it is also about the fucking price, because where I'm living is really fucking expensive. Even though like I'm actually thinking about just moving to just the UK, moving to an English-speaking country in general, just because I'm speaking a lot of English, and I actually would like to do that just in my quote-unquote normal life as well. Some kind of like, I would appreciate that, and I would like to do that just at least for some time, you know, to just see what it is like, you know, which is also a pretty good thing with the whole YouTube thing, you know. If it is working, you know, and if I'm just able to sustain myself, then I'm actually able to be wherever. Would actually be amazing. Would really, really, really be amazing. But still, it really is about price, and I really hate just I first of all hate losing money, and I second of all hate just spending money on whatever it might be. I don't like it, you know, whatever it might be about. I don't like fucking spending my fucking money. Whether it is spending it on food, I don't like it. You know, I would just rather not spend it on food. You know, if it is about just vacation, I don't know, just I don't give a fuck then. Like, I really am just so a fucking frugal or cheap motherfucker. It is just really fucking insane. Like, insanely insane. Like, really, really, really insane. You know, but I don't know. I'm happy with what it is, and I think it is actually sometimes it's actually kind of cool to just look at the prices, then evaluate them. Like, what should I be buying right now? If it is about prices, if it is about gifts, it is like or presents. It is like really fucked up, you know, because I'm also doing that then, and it's just not feeling. It does not feel that good. Like, I would really like to just buy that really expensive one, just because I know that everything is gonna be fine with it and whatnot, and I do not have to take a risk. But in the end, I'm just gonna take the cheaper one because I'm a cheap motherfucker, and like, yeah. But I'm actually happy with being cheap. You know, it is better than just spending your money on fucking dumb shit all day fucking long. I don't want to do that. But let's see. 10-year-old me making a potion out of all the shampoos and soaps in the bath. Gotta taste it too. Chemist. I don't know the meme. Like, it is some kind of a. It actually reminds me on the guys that are just wearing the headphones when they're just in the stores. To be honest, I'm not quite sure where this is coming from, but the thing is, experimenting is. I think the thing is, and it is also something I might actually be just doing this in a separate episode. I might be actually talking about that. The thing is, a lot of people are thinking about the fact that we have been just really fucking creative when we all have been kids. And I would say so as well, some kinda. Like, of course, we're thinking about a lot of things, but in the end, it is also like, on the other hand, like, no, because we're not really able to do anything with the ideas that we're having. Like, of course, we can just draw something, and we can glue something together and all these things, but we're not really able to really build something, like craft something, like use a fucking drill and just make something out of wood. Like, in theory, I guess we could be able to do that, you know. The thing is, are you gonna hurt yourself? Probably yes, you know. Is it then worth it? Especially from a parent's point of view? No fucking no. So it's like, what should you be doing? You know, what should you be doing? Like, what's the alternative? And also on the other hand, it's like, okay, I don't know if we're just changing the creativity muscle in our brain and whatever, and then suddenly we are not creative anymore. Like, I am not also believing in that. Like, I believe that we can be creative if we want to, and we all are creative if we want to. And we all are, like, maybe creativity is just one of the words that is just misunderstood by quite a lot of people. It could also be the case, you know, in terms of like, if you're just a chemist, you're also creative in some ways. You know, when you're a mathematician, then you also gotta be creative in some ways, because solving an equation is gonna involve some creativity, at least some creativity. Like, I'm not saying it's just, I don't know, like, I think, well, it depends. I was just thinking whether just painting a picture is just evolving more creativity than solving a mathematical equation. But I wouldn't actually say so that painting a picture is more creative. I think just like, I think you can't basically some kind of compare them together, like, or to each and another, just because it is something completely different. In the end, it really is. Ask nicely. My classmates, when they see me with a pack of gum, and then there's actually, I think it's the Looney Tunes or part of the Looney Tunes, or just some part of that series. I've never ever kind of understood what the Looney Tunes are and what, like, now, not Garfield, but the mouse and the cat is. I kind of always felt like it is all the same shit. Some kind, or at least from the same production firm or whatever. The thing is, they're holding a book of communism in their hands. The thing is, it is actually the case, and the thing is, yeah, really ask nicely. Being nice and asking nicely, I think, is one of the best things you can always be doing. You know, being nice is always going to be something, unless we're going to be taken over by AI. It's probably not going to be that important unless the AI has a sensor for empathy and being nice and kind and all those things and generosity. But in the end, being nice is always going to be something good. And being a generous person is also going to be something good. Just being a good person. It's going to be good for you just because you feel better, and it's also going to be better for the people around you. Because I don't know if so many people are enjoying having people around them that are fucking negative, fucking assholes, and all those things. I wouldn't, you know. Of course, like there's just room for, or space for just some jokes and all those things. Like, of course you can do that. You know, I'm not gonna just exclude that or include that into just not being nice or whatnot. But still, like, be nice. Try to be nice and try to be the nicest person you can be. And yeah. With that being said, I hope you've liked the episode, because I really have enjoyed the episode. It is actually quite of a funny thing that on some days it is just way better than on some other days. I think it is actually also somehow correlated to the amount of the amount of not money. I'm not making any money, by the way. The amount of sleep that I'm getting, because the last night I've been sleeping like 7 hours instead of like 1 hour, and I am just really doing better, I'd say. But yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself on how you're gonna be remembered, which means your legacy. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 are hopefully gonna show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea. So I appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you do not want to miss out on any good information, on any value, on any whatever. And I'm going to see you the next time. I at least hope.